everybody. Sean O'Kane here with Chip Estimate TV. We're here in Santa Clara, California at ARM TechCon 2014. My guest today is Brian Fuller, Editor-in-Chief at Cadence, and Adam Karen, Senior Marketing Manager with Qualcomm right here. Thank you, gentlemen, for being with us today. And a couple of things, what's going on here with ARM is this step challenge. And I just understood earlier before the interview that Adam is a semi-marathoner. So he's the kind of guy that wakes up, stretches, and goes for a 20-mile run.
Pretty much.
Just to do it. I get out of bed, I'm winded. So now, but Brian is also involved with the step challenge, and he's keeping pace. How is that going, guys?
Well, just a little bit of background, right? This is the second time that ARM's done the step challenge. They did the first one at DAC, largely with partners, and they've expanded it here at ARM TechCon with a larger and definitely fitter group of engineer marketer.
This is my rookie year, so Brian's the senior guy who's been. You were there at DAC, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was in San Francisco, so I could walk to the convention center and rack up my miles. But yesterday when we started it, I got out of bed and Adam had more miles than I would get in the entire day.
Exactly.
It was my shock and awe campaign to try to, before they get up, to see like how many steps there is, to be like, all right, I'm not even going to try.
No, yeah, you just want to, the intimidation factor.
Exactly.
But Brian had a good point yesterday. And he said, it's not all about the steps, it's also about the fashion.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
can you see that?
Okay.
You have to compete at some level.
The antithesis of that, I actually say it's function over fashion, which is why, I kid you not, because I did so many miles yesterday, I have my compression socks.
Oh, these are the...
So these are the things that like help with recovery. And so because I pushed it so hard yesterday and did it again this morning, and actually leave first thing tomorrow morning to go hike the Grand Canyon, I needed the recovery. So like I brought my like ultra equipment to this thing because I had to make a good first impression for my first appearance of the step challenge.
His eyes are like this. What do you mean? You're hiking.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, we get up, we go to 7-Eleven for a cup of coffee, and I think I'll climb the Grand Canyon.
First time.
Actually, and I'm not kidding, I was going to do it this month, but we couldn't get a permit. So I'm impressed. Number one, and number two, there's coincidence.
Okay, let's dovetail here and talk a little bit about the predominant conversation here at ARM TechCon, which is IoT and wearables and embedded. So maybe you want to take a little turn at that.
After you, sir.
Well, I'm looking at the pressure socks there. Oh. It's only a matter of time, right, before we that becomes a literal wearable, right? Where maybe it manages the pressure on your calves, maybe it exudes some warmth or coolness. But you guys with the Snapdragon are doing all sorts of cool stuff in the wearable mobile space. Give us a little insight into what are some of the cool applications you can talk about.
Oh, sure. Well, I guess the most traditional one right now, or the most popular one, is obviously the smartwatch.
Yeah.
So like we have our ARM-powered Fitbits here for the step challenge, but you can also do step counts with the watch. It has some of the same sensors. So a lot of the watches that have been launched this year with Android Wear are actually powered with the Snapdragon 400 processor, which is one of our lower-end processors that's much more power and energy efficient. But that's one of the things that's a low enough thermal envelope that it's getting into those sort of wearable technologies.
And those have ARM cores on it?
Yes, for the ARM 400 is using the lower power Cortex A7.
What kinds of things are you guys doing to manage that thermal envelope? Because that's obviously, processing is one part of it, but if it burns a hole in your wrist, it's a problem.
So how technical should I get here? I can talk a bit about this.
Go ahead. You're not going to lose this.
Okay, so
at least me.
So we also make custom cores called Crate, and one of the things we have with that is called ASMP, or asynchronous multiprocessing, and that's able to throttle each individual core to the necessary voltage or frequency independent of the other cores or independent on what's being run on the system. Whereas a traditional system, you have a single threaded task that one CPU will bring up to whatever voltage and frequencies necessary, but it'll have to bring all the other CPUs up online to do the same. They couldn't do that scaling independently. So that's one feature on the CPU. We're doing other features on the modem, on the GPU, because we designed the whole SoC. We're looking at thermal reductions and power reductions across every single block in that SoC.
No small feat.
No,
pardon the pun.
it's a very
Perfect.
very complicated system.
Well, listen, thank you, Adam, for joining us today. And now you're going to be going to the Design Automation Conference this year?
I do not believe so, actually.
Okay. Well, where do you live?
Thank God.
Down in San Diego.
San Diego. I figured you'd run.
Is it?
Yeah. Who knows? But Brian is going to be there, and he'll be on the treadmill again.
Yeah, which we did at DAC,
That's right.
and I got dizzy.
But
It's not a natural thing.
But you look good doing it, my friend.
Okay, that's what counts.
You know what I'm telling you.
Style points.
Doesn't matter how you feel, it's how you look, and you will look marvelous. So, ladies and gentlemen, for Brian Fuller and Adam Kieran, my name is Sean O'Kane. We'll see you next time on Chip Estimate TV.